from the campus of the University of Alabama. Live sports from Alabama's sports team. This is WVUA Sports.
Nobody was on the team at the time, but Stanford was the last time we were in this situation, so our program knows about it. And we told them exactly what had happened, and the next day, we came out, we had a big crowd, everybody was behind us. We stayed out here all day long and won 2 games. And it was an awesome day, and that's what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to stay out here as long as we need to and win 2 games.
And boy, was Coach Murphy's prediction right on the money. Welcome in, everyone, to Sports Sunday. I'm BJ Millican. Jen Chapman has the night off. Now, Pat Murphy called his shot on Friday night, and last night, Alabama made him look like a genius. After winning game 1 2-0, the Tide trailed in the 6th inning 3-1 to Oklahoma until Marissa Runyon uncorked a grand slam to give Alabama a 5-3 lead. Alexis Osorio retired the Sooners in order in the 7th inning to clinch the Tide's 10th World Series appearance. But Runyon's heroics came while she was mired in an 0-for-13 slump. She explains why that didn't matter.
I just wanted to get it done. I didn't care about any other at-bat, and mentally I was just, whatever, it happens, and just wanted to get at least 1 run in and hit the ball hard and let fate tell the rest.
I just said it's going to be fate when she gets up because Danae gets hit, and then there goes Runyon, and I was like, it's fate. And I thought she'd come through. I thought she was going to hit a grand slam. Was that yesterday? I just, and I said to Molly, I said, should we have her take? And she said, no, I think she's going to get a good pitch. And thank God I didn't give her a take because she usually likes the first pitch. And it was a good one for her, and just really happy for her because she, a lot of kids deserve stuff, but she has earned it as well. She definitely earned that moment.
And perhaps it's fate that the Tide is going to get another shot at the Michigan Wolverines. The game starts at 6 p.m. Thursday in Oklahoma City. A little later in this program, hear the second part of Jen Chapman's one-on-one interview with Pat Murphy. He's going to give us a look back and a look ahead and why Alabama softball fans should be very excited about the future. Now, the SEC baseball tournament came to a close on Sunday. Vanderbilt was looking for their first tournament title since '07. They'd have to knock off Florida in the rain. It would hinder things not once but twice. In the third, already up 4-1, the Gators bring home another run. Jeremy Vasquez, the single, that made it 5-1. Then, here it comes again. The rain just getting us tripped up. But the Gators continue to pour it on. They like the rain. The wild pitch brings in another run. Florida just closed it out, 7-3. The final, they win the SEC tournament, earning the auto bid. So the Gators will get the SEC's automatic spot. You can see who else is part of that 64-team NCAA field on Monday at 11 a.m. on ESPNU, the selection show. The NCAA announced regional sites tonight. Texas A&M, Florida, LSU, and Vanderbilt will all host regionals from the SEC. Still much more to come on Sports Sunday. Next up, Jen Chapman got to go one-on-one with Pat Murphy, Alabama softball coach. He gives us some great insight about another series the Tide won after having lost the first game. Plus, what's it like going from small-town Iowa to being a local celebrity in Tuscaloosa? All that is next, so stay with us. Welcome back to Sports Sunday. It's fitting that Alabama's softball program played their very first game at ASA Hall of Fame Stadium in Oklahoma City. Now, it's a place that they've grown familiar with since that game way back in 1997. Now, Patrick Murphy was an assistant coach for that team. 800 wins later, he goes back in time and looks towards the future. In part 2 of One-on-One with Jen with Pat Murphy, Jen asked about some of the coach's most memorable games.
We had lost to Stanford in Super Regionals, and it was just played our worst game of the year, the first game, and we had to come back the next day and beat them twice. We run-ruled them the first game, and it was hot, and as the day went along, the sun went down, and we started completely daylight, and by the end of the second game, the lights were on, it was dark, and we pitched both kids. Jackie Traynor was a freshman. It was 2011. And Cassie Riley-Boscia hit a triple in the bottom of the 6th for a 1-0 win. And the crowd that night might have been the loudest I've ever heard it. And they had been through a lot. They'd been to the heat, the first game, and they stayed with us. And it was just one of those games that you'll always have in your memory. It was unbelievable.
And is there any game further back that kind of made you realize we're going to do something here?
I think probably we had a kid named Kelly Kretschmann. She wasn't very recruited, or highly recruited. But when the first time I saw her, I said to another coach, I said, does she do that all the time? And the lady said, oh yeah, she does it all the time. And I was like, and I didn't say it to her, but I turned around, I was like, I want that kid. She threw right, hit left, very athletic, had more pop than anybody I'd ever seen, and she wasn't a big kid. And thank goodness we got her. And I always kid her that, you know, I always say that Rhodes Stadium is the house that Kelly built, because she was a huge Yankees fan. And I'd sent her a postcard the summer before she came to Alabama. I'd gone to New York, and it said, the house that Ruth built. And I crossed out Ruth, and I said, this is going to be the house that Kelly built. And just some of the games with her early on, you could tell that if we had continued to get the type of kid that she was, we could do this again and again and again. And I think like in a couple years from now, we've got some kids that committed are even more athletic than some of the kids we have now. And I know a couple coaches in our conference keep thinking that, man, they're going to have a bad year, they're going to, you know, but somehow, some way. I remember Mal Moore saying the hardest thing to do in Division I athletics is be consistently good. And we're the only school in the country that's been to all 10 super regionals, and we've gone to 17 straight NCAAs. And it kind of, you know, every year is a different team, so it really gets you excited. And I think that's why we've been good every year, because it's a different challenge, a different team, a different group of kids. No matter how many you got coming back or how many you lost, it's a different feeling. And so it's a lot of fun to try to be that consistent winner.
And you really are the face of that. So what is it like for a guy who came from Iowa to be like a local celebrity in Alabama? I'm sure that's not something you imagine.
No, and it's, you know, I didn't play football here, obviously. I didn't know anybody. It was just really luck of the draw. You know, I applied to be the assistant. I got the assistant job the first 2 years. That summer, the head coach left. I got the job, and it was like, okay, we need to get going here. And I can remember after that first year, we did go to regionals, but we got shut out twice. And I said to myself, that's not going to happen again. And so that summer, I tried to work my butt off in anything and everything. And then the next year, we won 66 games, went to the World Series, finished 5th, and that's what got it started that second year. But I never, ever imagined, you know, being from Fayette, Iowa, born in Waterloo. Fayette is a population of about 962 people. There was 20 in my graduating class. I mean, it's about as small town as you can get. But, you know, this is very similar to Iowa, where it's a little slower. It's definitely not a urban area. You know, I don't think I could do it in a big city. And the other thing that's really, really cool about the state is there is no NFL, there's no MLB, there's no NBA. And the game in town is the University of Alabama, and that's what makes it so successful, and that's what makes all the fans so rabid about college sports here.
And this whole athletic department, you guys are an all-star cast of coaches. So what is it like to go to work with great coaches in every sport? Well,
just, you know, the floor in Coleman Coliseum, the 3rd floor, it's called Champions Hallway. And when we had Sarah, and now Dana's picking it up just like where Sarah left off. You had Sarah at one end, Mick Potter, Jay Sewell, you know, everybody down that hallway has won a national championship. And having Avery Johnson up there now too, I mean, he ups the ante big time. He's just one of my favorite people I've ever met. We loved Anthony and all his staff, but I think it's just going to be so much fun. And, you know, obviously football steers the ship, and Coach Saban has done an incredible job, but everybody else, it's really fun right now to be a coach, and I'm sure to be a student athlete at Alabama, because this to me is the golden age.
Great stuff right there from Coach Murphy. Now you can see both parts of Jen's interview right now on WVUA 23's Facebook page. More to come on Sports Sunday, including more than 1,000 miles of racing and our favorite things. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Back on Sports Sunday, a Memorial Day tribute at the Indy 500 today. We move ahead to 27 laps to go in the race. Whoa, a huge collision. 3 cars involved, all would be okay. 3 laps to go, and it's Juan Pablo Montoya. Passing willpower for the lead. He would hold on and earn his second Indy 500 victory. He gets to taste, he is psyched, look at him, and he gets to taste that sweet, sweet milk. Milk was a good choice. He even gave some to his kids. How about 600 more miles of racing at the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte? They were also honoring Memorial Day. And if there was a theme in this race, it was a lot of cautions. Try 7. Jimmy Johnson got caught up there, and then later in the race, Jimmy could not stay out of the pits. He's into the wall. In the end, it's Carl Edwards winning his first race for Joe Gibbs Racing and breaking a 49-race winless streak. And as we always do on Sunday, it's time for our favorite things. And this week is very special. Of course, it is the eve of Memorial Day, so it's only fitting to say thank you to so many service people who have fought and died so we can enjoy countless freedoms in our country. So our favorite things this week is our United States military members and veterans. We say thank you, have a great week, and enjoy Memorial Day.